Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today for this Krannert information session. My name is Laurie. I am the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Recruitment at the Krannert School of Management. And we're very fortunate to have two Krannert students joining us today. Tavian, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure thing. So my name is Tavian Gadia. I'm a sophomore here from Plainfield, Indiana. I am a general management major with a data analytics concentration, and I also have minors in communications and Spanish.
Hi everyone, my name is Ratty. I'm a current junior studying accounting and finance with a minor in forensic science. I'm from Carmel, Indiana, and very excited to be here on campus. Hopefully you guys can join us here on campus soon.
Thank you, Tavian and Hannah. You'll be hearing from both of them throughout this presentation. But I'd like to go ahead and jump right in. In the next 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to tell you as much as we can about undergraduate programs here at Krannert. The first thing you need to know is that Krannert is a relatively small school here at Purdue. We welcomed 550 freshmen to campus this fall. We have around 2,500 undergraduate students total in the Krannert School. So at Krannert, you'll have an opportunity to really get to know other students, get to know faculty and staff members. We really feel like we're a family here at Krannert. It's also part of a world-class Big Ten university that is Purdue. We are well known for our STEM programs, science, technology, computer science, engineering. You can combine those with your business degree for a really unique experience if you come to Purdue. We are nationally ranked. U.S. News and World Reports ranks undergraduate business programs every year. We have always been in the top 25 of their rankings, and we're very proud of that. To put it into perspective, there are more than 1,200 undergraduate business programs in the nation. I want to tell you about just a couple of our outstanding Krannert alumni. The first person I'd like to talk to you about is Nick Rheago. Nick graduated from Krannert in 2014 with a general management degree. He started his career at ESPN, and at the age of 24, Nick was the youngest associate producer ever at ESPN. As you can see from the photo, he's been very successful. He's won at least 2 Sports Emmy Awards. Now he works for Fox Sports, and he manages social media there for events that I'm sure you've heard of: World Series, FIFA World Cup, and the Super Bowl. Really proud of what Nick has already been able to accomplish very early in his career. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Jane Brock Wilson. Jane actually graduated with her undergrad degree from Krannert and earned an MBA from Harvard. The Brock Wilson Center for Women in Management is all due to Jane. The center has been around a few years, and it focuses on research, education, and professional development for women in business and helping them in their careers to advance globally. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Stacey Burr, who is an exceptional entrepreneur. Stacey has an engineering bachelor's degree from Purdue and a master's degree from Krannert. She started her own business, and she holds 16 patents in wearable electronics. Her company was acquired by Adidas, and she worked there for a few years, and now she is with Google, and we're really excited to see what Stacey and her team will be developing next. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Roland Parish, but I think I'm going to let Tavian tell you what he knows about Roland.
Sure thing. So Roland Parish was one of the first recruits to Dr. Cornell A. Bell's Business Opportunity Program here at Krannert, or BOP for short. The BOP program has been running since about the 1960s. It features some of the best and brightest minority business students from across the country. During his time here at Krannert, Roland Parish was an All-American track athlete. On top of that, he was a fantastic student, and after graduating from Krannert, throughout his career, he ended up becoming a fantastic entrepreneur. Currently, he owns a handful of McDonald's down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he makes a lot of money. Enough money to make one of the best libraries that I have personally ever seen. The Roland G. Parish Library of Economics in the second floor of the Krannert building has basically everything you want for in a study space. So terms of having really cool whiteboards that you can draw on that are on the tables, great for math. If you need a quiet area to get some work done and maybe knock out some quizzes. So on top of being a fantastic athlete, a fantastic student, a fantastic entrepreneur, he builds really cool libraries too. So that's why Roland Parish is one of my favorite Krannert alumni. And Hannah, I think you also had a favorite alumni you wanted to talk about as well.
Yes, my favorite alumni is Nancy Handel. Not only did she fund my study abroad scholarship, I also had the opportunity to meet her in person and have lunch here on campus with her. She's a brilliant businesswoman who is a senior vice president and a CFO, and being able to hear about her business experiences and all the places she had traveled was an amazing experience for me, and I was so happy to be able to meet her.
It's so nice that we have such a variety of outstanding alumni, and that many times those alumni are on campus interacting with our students. We really appreciate all of our alumni. So I'd like to tell you now about our 7 majors that we offer at Krannert. We're going to start with accounting. To get an accounting degree from Krannert requires 4 years. After 4 years, you can work for a corporation. If you're interested in public accounting, that's going to require an additional 30 credit hours. We have a really great pathway program that leads you into a 1-year master's program. So for students interested in getting the CPA license, that's a great path for them to take. Hannah, I know that you're an accounting major. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience in the accounting program?
Yes, so far all of my accounting professors have been amazing. They truly showed their love for accounting, and I've continued to grow my love as I continue to take classes here. I've had 3 accounting internships so far, and I am looking to intern again in the spring during a busy season audit internship. And I think my experience right now at Krannert has definitely prepared me for that internship, and I'm very excited to see how that goes in the spring. I am also just starting my application to the Pathways program to continue my Krannert education with a master's here from Krannert, and I'm very excited about that experience as well.
Thank you, Hannah. It sounds like you've had a lot of great experience already with your accounting program. I'm so excited to see you get into that master's program and everything you're going to accomplish after you graduate from Purdue. So every accounting student is a little bit different. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Janelle, who is on the slide. After her freshman year, Janelle interned with PwC in Chicago. After her sophomore year, PwC invited her back and she interned with them in New York City. Then after her junior year, she decided to try something a little bit different and interned with JP Chase in Dallas. Very frequently, internships will lead to full-time job offers, and that's what happened for Janelle. She was offered a full-time position with JP Chase, and since graduating in May, she has been working with them out of the Dallas office. Accounting can take many shapes and forms. On this next slide, you'll see another Krannert alum. He is the gentleman in the photograph not wearing the handcuffs. Actually, he is an FBI agent, and here he's bringing in a former Enron executive. So fraud can be a very big part of accounting depending on what area you want to go into. We do have an association for certified fraud examiners here at Krannert. It's one of about 25 different clubs that our students can participate in and really extend that learning outside of the classroom. In addition to the Krannert clubs, there are about 1,000 different clubs across campus that students can participate in. And I'd like Tavian and Hannah to tell us a little bit about their experience in extracurricular activities. Would you like to start for us, Tavian?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in 2 of my primary clubs outside of management ambassadors. One of them is within Krannert. It's Consult Your Community. So essentially, we're a group of pro bono consulting students. So all of us are either Krannert or we have a couple engineers on our team as well. Essentially, what Consult Your Community does is we work with a lot of the small businesses in both the greater Lafayette and the Indianapolis area. And in the field of consulting, you're essentially problem solvers for the business world. So when it comes to running a business, there's 1,000,001 things that can go wrong, and there's also 1,000,001 places where you want to push your company to go. Our group helps come in and help these business owners kind of identify what their problem areas are or help them develop a strong plan to help them reach their goals. So aside from consulting, I'm also a member of Esports at Purdue, which complete 180. I'm a huge gamer whenever I was in high school and in middle school too. So being able to come onto campus and have an organization and a community of fellow gamers, I suppose, It's really fun. It kind of helps me get a little bit of a break from like the academic grind. And college can be a lot of things, but making sure that you diversify your experiences. So I like to joke that by Thursday mornings, I'm filling out balance sheets and getting on emails with a lot of my clients. And then by Thursday night, I'm usually in the second or third round of the tournament, holding my controller with my sweaty hands, waiting to get this done.
Hannah, would you like to tell us about your experiences too?
So my extracurricular activities focus a lot on Krannert. Besides being a management ambassador, I am the president of the Krannert Student Hub. This was a new club that's been created for Krannert, and we're currently working on building a database for Krannert students to be able to take advantage of all the opportunities that Krannert offers, so that it's basically a one-stop shop, so a freshman can come in and figure out different clubs, different classes that go with their majors, and how to make the most of the customization you have with your Krannert degree here.
Great, thank you both. Lots of different things you can get involved with at Purdue for sure. So I'd like to jump back into our majors. Economics is our next major. And I have to ask Hannah about this photo here on the slide. It's actually a group of our students in front of the Fearless Girl sculpture. Hannah, can you tell us what you guys were doing there?
Yes, so this photo was taken on a career trek to New York City. The career treks is something the Krannert Professional Development puts on in order to allow students to network outside of campus. So we went to New York City to visit a few investment banking firms as well as a few different accounting firms, and we also got points to be tourists, and I got to see a Broadway show. So it was an amazing experience during the last fall break to really go to New York City and meet people in roles that you could see yourself in, Krannert alums specifically. And this was part of our Wall Street tour. We got to take a photo in front of the Fearless Girl as we got to learn more about Wall Street in New York City.
Sounds like an awesome trip. I wish I could have been on that with you for sure. So a little bit more about economics. At Krannert, we have an economics research center. They use data to look at government programs, laws, and policies to see how they affect individuals in society. And it's interesting, a lot of our economics professors will also do research involving students. So they'll have students come in and do some experiments for them, and it's a win-win. They get to help conduct research, and our students get a little extra spending money as well, which is always a good thing. And now I have a brief video from Kelly Blanchard, who teaches our Econ 251 course, so a required course for all Krannert students. Many of you, if you come to Purdue, will have Kelly Blanchard for a professor, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what economics is like here at Krannert.
Study of economics, I would define it as really just the study of making choices. A lot of people think econ is a lot about money, and it is, because the decisions we make about money are pretty important in our lives and the lives of others. But it's not just about that. I mean, we spend plenty of time talking about things like profit and savings and interest rates, but we also spend a lot of time talking about issues like crime, poverty, the distribution of income, choices that we make on a daily basis. How many hours should I work? What kind of job should I choose? All of those are decisions that have some relevance to economics. When you complete a degree in econ at Krannert, I would say it's kind of a combination of a little bit of psychology, a little bit of political science, and a little bit of math on top of that. So the jobs that our graduates tend to get, they often have the word analyst at the end of it. So marketing analyst, pricing analyst, financial analyst, human resources analyst. We also have students that go on to graduate school. That could be into law school, that could be into an MBA program, that could be continuing on to get a PhD in economics.
So our next major is finance. Some of our finance graduates will work on Wall Street, but most of our finance grads will go ahead and work at corporations. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about Tiffany Zhang in the slide. As a sophomore, Tiffany was part of the Krannert case competition team that defeated the IU Kelly team. And we are particularly proud of Tiffany's team because it was made up of 4 sophomore women, and they were defeating teams of juniors and seniors. So definite props to Tiffany for really excelling in that particular case competition. But I think it also encouraged her to participate in future case competitions, which she really enjoyed and felt like that was part of a great learning experience for her at Krannert. After her sophomore year, Tiffany stayed on campus and took some courses at summer school here at Purdue. And during that time, she actually interned for the undergraduate recruitment office, so I got to know her very well. After her junior year, she had an internship with EY that she really enjoyed. And then senior year, I know she was debating a couple of different offers, but she ended up accepting an offer from Microsoft in Seattle, and that is where she is currently working. So really proud of Tiffany, and I'm actually going to get a chance to talk with her in an upcoming Krannert program, so looking forward to seeing her again as well. General management is a very broad degree. It's great that you can go into general management if you want to go into a variety of different fields. I know, Tavian, that you're a general management major. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience in the program so far?
General management is definitely very much a catch-all major, so you get good exposure to a lot of the different areas of business. So for me, coming out of high school, I knew I wanted to be involved in the business world, but I wasn't entirely sure what functions would suit my interests. So general management kind of helped me dip my toes into all the different areas, and as a result, I kind of got a feel for what I did and what I didn't enjoy. So as you guys heard a little bit earlier, I'm a data analytics concentration, and that was because during one of my classes, which is Management 110, so we got exposure to all those different areas of business, and we had a specific class where we talked a lot about the data side of business, making sure that you're using effective data to make smart, intelligent decision makings, how to optimize processes, and working with efficiency. And of course, data is the name of the game now. So if you know your way around working spreadsheets and making sure you know how to optimize processes, you're going to be able to find a job in this market very easily.
Thanks, Tavian. Again, every student has a different path. Tavian is just a sophomore. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. We can't wait to see all the different things that he'll be doing. But I'd like to tell you a little bit about Lizzie Embry, who is on the slide. Lizzie is a senior now here at Krannert. She was able to get an internship with Polaris after her freshman year. She actually went back and interned with them again after her sophomore year. And then after her junior year, she interned with a helicopter manufacturer called Bell Flight. So she has had a variety of experiences. But in addition to those internship experiences, Lizzie is a top student, and she is taking advantage of a combined degree program here at Krannert. So this year, as a senior, she'll start taking master's classes. In May, she'll graduate with her bachelor's degree from Krannert in general management. She will take one additional semester of master's level courses and earn her master's in human resource management. So one more semester coming out with a master's degree, so impressive. And it's an option for top students. It's not for everyone. You have to have at least a 3.7 GPA, at least one internship. They're going to interview you. They're looking for the very top students who will be able to take that academic rigor, but definitely an option for students to consider in general management and all of our majors here at Krannert. So now I'd like to tell you a little bit about our newest major. It's called Integrated Business and Engineering. It combines the best of business and engineering. You're going to have a strong foundation in both of those areas. In addition, you'll have a lot of hands-on activity and mentorship from alumni in this program. I'm going to go ahead and show you a brief video from the dean to tell you a little bit more about IBE.
The world needs problem solvers, people who can turn technological advances into economic and social benefits, people who can make sound, data-driven decisions that have broad and lasting impact. The world needs people like you. In the Integrated Business and Engineering degree program, you'll take core courses in both areas and then take special labs focused on solving problems whose answers requires that integrated expertise.
One of the flagship programs in the College of Engineering is the Vertically Integrated Projects, or VIP program. In VIP, undergraduate students from a variety of disciplines and backgrounds work together on teams with faculty and graduate student mentors on authentic projects that can last several years or even decades. The teams are vertically integrated as they consist of students from across cohorts, first year through seniors working together. We're excited to have students in the IBE program participate in VIP.
You don't need to be an electrical engineer to develop clean energy solutions. You don't need to be a doctor to improve access to healthcare. And you don't need to be an agronomist to alleviate world hunger. What you do need is an inquisitive mind and a desire to think big. By joining an elite group of students in the Integrated Business and Engineering program, you'll leave Purdue ready to change the world.
In addition, there is something else I'm very happy to announce. One of our alumni is providing 4 Fullride Scholarships for female students who will be starting in the IBE program in fall 2021. Julie Wainwright is the CEO and founder of the Rheago in California. She really enjoyed her Krannert experience and would like to enable and encourage other women to be as successful as she is. So if you are a current female senior in high school, I would encourage you to consider IBE. It's going to give you a lot of options when you graduate, and also the power and encouragement of someone like Julie Wainwright behind you is a great way to get started for sure. I would like to tell you a little bit about our marketing major. So our professors in marketing do a great job of preparing students for the real world. Marketing students will be certified in Google AdWords, Google Analytics, and SAS, which is a common marketing software that many firms use. It's really great to have that confidence in your degree that as soon as you graduate, you can hit the ground running and make a real difference to your employer. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about Kent Berkman on the screen. Kent is a current junior at Krannert, and this is a picture of him at his internship after his freshman year. He interned for Toyota in Miami, Florida. And what's interesting about this picture is he is actually in Atlanta, where they went to do some videotaping for some social media advertising. So Kent had a great experience with Toyota, and we were actually very fortunate to have him intern for us this past summer. He did a great job with social media here at Purdue and Krannert. Last but not least, we have supply chain information and analytics. In our current climate, going through this pandemic, we have found out how very important supply chains are, how important efficiencies and on-time delivery can be all across businesses, all types of businesses. And we have a recent graduate, he just graduated in May, who's going to tell you about his experience in supply chain.
Hi, my name is Nathan Beakwell. I am a senior majoring in supply chain management, information analytics. End of September, I will be moving on to work for Microsoft as an operations program manager. My job is going to entail pretty much working as a liaison between cross-functional teams, working with engineers, customer experience, things like that, just all different factors. Krannert helped me a lot, but I think it really helped me with the connections and just making the right decisions. A lot of times when you start in your internship, you don't really know what to do, who to meet, but Krannert really helped me to know how to make those connections with people that can help me in my career, who then during my internship pushed me to really perform at my best and highest level. For me, supply chain is just one of the most interesting topics in the world, primarily because you can find it in everything. For me, I'm a person that is a people person, and I like to make those connections and help people where I can. So supply chain is the easiest way for me to do that with a business career. My advice to incoming students is to really think of college as something that you're going to get something out of. Yes, it's going to be an experience, you're going to have a lot of fun, but it is also a time to find yourself, essentially. So you really want to get involved in what you can and do what you can now, so that when it comes time for senior year, you're not wishing that you had done more or done less or done differently when you had the chance to do so when you're coming in right now. I would most definitely recommend my program to prospective students, simply because in today's world, technology is becoming a must, and supply chain is never going to go away. So the combination of the two makes for a major that is applicable no matter what year you graduate or how the markets are. If you're looking for a major that is going to give you the chance to do anything, this is a major that I think is for you.
So those are the 7 majors that we offer here at Krannert. But in addition to your major, we really encourage you to customize your degree. There are a list of minors on the screen, but that is not a complete list. Those are just some of the minors that Krannert students tend to pair with their majors. If you'd like a complete list, you can find that on the admissions website. In addition to these minors, we also offer concentrations only to Krannert students. So it's really nice to know, as a Krannert student, you could have a concentration in international business or data analytics, lots of different options for our Krannert students. And I know Tavian and Hannah have touched briefly on some of the things that they're doing, but Tavian, if you want to start us off and tell us a little bit more about why you chose the minors and concentrations that you did to go with your major.
Sure thing. So I already talked a little bit about data analytics. Again, with the general manager being a very flexible degree, I kind of thought that having that background in data would be a good place to move forward with my career. As for my communications and Spanish minors, I took a lot of Spanish and comm classes in high school, and communications is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful tools, not just in the business role, but basically everywhere today. So being able to articulate yourself very well and to be very effective in terms of how you communicate your ideas and your thoughts, and how to also be able to train your teammates. Because again, cooperation is the name of the game. So the better you are able to communicate and work together as a team, the better you're going to be in terms of almost any project that you're able to get done. As for Spanish, Spanish is a little bit of, my oldest girlfriend. The Spanish language was definitely one of my favorite classes when I was in elementary school, just the concept of being able to learn about this whole new culture that, even though I'm not Hispanic, it's always been very interesting to learn about it. And, Spanish is definitely one of my favorite minors just to talk with other Spanish minors about as well, just because everyone has their own different experiences. Their professors might have been a little different. They might have done study abroad to different countries, but I always think it's very interesting to have that perspective from a different culture and from a different language that isn't your own.
Thank you, Tavian. And Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about what you've paired with your major?
I chose my forensic science minor because I had an interest in law and crime coming into college, as well as I've grown an interest in forensic accounting as well as fraud, being in classes at Krannert and taking classes within my minor. I think it's made me a unique applicant, especially when applying to jobs that focus on audit and fraud within accounting, and it's something I've really enjoyed at my Purdue experience so far.
Thank you, Hannah and Tavian. It's nice to know there are so many different options for students, and as an incoming freshman, you don't have to know right away what you want to minor in or concentrate in. So there's lots of time to figure it out, but it's really nice to know you do have many, many different options. So now I want to talk a little bit about the application process. When you come to Purdue from high school, these are the classes listed on the screen that we anticipate you have completed. Pretty similar to about any university or college that you will be applying to. November 1st is the deadline in order to be considered for scholarships, and if you complete your application by November 1st, you'll get your decision from Purdue on January 15th. There is a little strategy that goes into the application. You will have a first choice and second choice of major. So the most recent incoming class here at Krannert, just to let you know the type of student you would be in class with, the average high school GPA was 3.65, the average ACT score was 27.7, and the average SAT was 1280. So those are the averages. If you find that you're below one or two of those averages, it would be a good idea to have a second choice of major just in case for some reason you weren't admitted into Krannert. If you really want to study business, I definitely encourage you to put one of our 7 Krannert majors as your first choice. A good second choice would be exploratory studies. Exploratory studies, when they review applicants, are not quite as rigorous as Krannert, so it is possible to get denied Krannert and still get accepted into exploratory studies. It is also very easy to transfer into Krannert from exploratory studies as long as you're doing well and getting good grades here at Purdue. Most of the students who are admitted to Krannert are admitted into lower division, and on this slide you see a little bit about the Krannert Management Admissions Index. So as a freshman and sophomore, we have 5 classes that we like you to take. We need to see a B average in those 5 classes in order for you to advance into upper division, which are the courses more specific to your major. I know it sounds a little scary, you have to get a B average in order to continue, but we don't admit any students to Krannert who we aren't confident can accomplish that B average. Actually, Hannah has already done it. So Hannah, can you tell us just a little bit about your experience with those 5 classes and what it's like to accomplish that average?
Yes, I completed all the courses during my freshman year here at Krannert, and these classes allow you to develop the time management skills and study skills that will really be helpful to you as you continue your degree through Krannert. Getting the average, you may have to work at it a little bit, but developing those skills early on will definitely help you as you continue and graduate from Krannert.
Thanks, Hannah. And just to let you know, I have talked with our Director of Advising. She assures me that 99% of our students do meet that average. So as long as you come in ready to work hard, go to class, study for quizzes, you should be in great shape. We do admit some students directly into upper division who have done extremely well in high school. We call this our Larson Leaders Academy. So to be admitted into the Leaders Academy, you need a minimum high school GPA of 3.7 or higher. That's an unweighted high school GPA. Also, at least a 28 ACT and a minimum 1320 SAT. ACT or SAT score will qualify you for the Leaders Academy. And Tavian, I know that you are in the Leaders Academy. Can you tell us a little bit about the types of things that you've done and experiences you've had in the Leaders Academy?
So the Larson Leaders Academy is also a learning community. Along with that means that typically you're going to be living with a lot of the same students that you share classes with. That's really good, just be able to have those resources available whenever you have to study for a quiz or there's a hard homework assignment. It's a lot easier to ask your roommate or your neighbor for help with something than having to ask a stranger that you've never met before, which goes hand in hand with being able to meet new people and build stronger friendships for your freshman year. Aside from that, Larson's does a great job providing their students with a lot of great resources, both for professional development and academics. So, for instance, we did the Doster Leadership Conference with the Larson Leaders Academy in Indianapolis. There we were able to learn a lot about leadership, how to work together on a team, and a lot of those strong foundational skills you're going to need to succeed in the business world. Everyone in Larson's is a fantastic person. I'm friends with almost everyone in my classes. And additionally, they put on a lot of things that only the Larson students get access to. So it's a great way to be able to get ahead when it comes to starting your professional career.
Thank you, Tavian. The whole idea behind the Larson Leaders Academy is really to encourage and challenge top performers in high school to continue to do well in college. Tavian told you some of the ways that we do that. In addition, there are some scholarship opportunities. Around 25% of Krannert students are part of the Larson Leaders Academy. So it's definitely not a problem if you do not qualify. 75% of our students, like Hannah, are just part of the general population and also go up into upper division and complete those Krannert degrees. So lots of ways to earn your degree here at Krannert. I'd like to tell you briefly about study abroad. We're very fortunate at Krannert to have lots of study abroad programs specifically for Krannert students. We have short-term programs in the summertime between 2 weeks and 4 weeks where you can earn 3 credits or 6 credits to help you graduate. And we have geared those towards Krannert students, giving them opportunities to complete required classes that will help them graduate. And while they're completing those classes, they're getting great cultural experiences as well. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Megan Cooper. Every student study abroad is a little bit different, but Megan did a semester-long study abroad in Hong Kong. You can do a semester or up to an entire year abroad. And in this picture, she is doing a side trip to Thailand, and she's pictured in front of the White Castle. Simply gorgeous. Megan graduated in May, and now she is studying law at Georgetown University. Hannah, I know that you also did a study abroad. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yes, so right after my freshman year, I spent 4 weeks in Dublin, Ireland. So the first 2 weeks we took a class taught by Dublin Business School professors where we learned about the European Union and Brexit and how it will affect all the different economies that are in Europe. As well as that, the second 2 weeks we took a class with a Krannert professor that came directly back towards our Krannert degree. And so all of my classes were in the morning, so we had the evenings to explore the city of Dublin, and we had weekends to take day trips. We even had one 3-day weekend where I had the opportunity to fly over to London and see all of the different things there. It was an amazing experience. I loved every minute of the 4 weeks, and I totally recommend for everyone to look into study abroad and try to fit it into your schedule here while at Krannert.
Thanks, Hannah. Definitely a lot of different options, short-term, longer programs, and we're also very fortunate that we have scholarships available for Krannert students. Hannah was talking earlier about Nancy Handel, who has funded a lot of scholarships for Krannert students, and we're very thankful for those. Gives a lot of students an opportunity to travel that they might not have otherwise. So in addition to the academics, we're really focused on helping prepare you for your upcoming career. So I want to tell you about a new program called Career Bound. This slide shows you 8 different competencies that this program is going to help you improve and increase as you go through the Krannert program. It's a new program we just started this year. Faculty and staff, as well as academic advisors, are very involved with helping students increase and improve these competencies and evaluating students where they're at and helping them move up to the next level. One of the best things about this program is it's going to provide you with an alumni mentor in your sophomore year. Having a successful Krannert alum guide you through that internship and job search process is just invaluable. So as a sophomore, junior, and senior, you're going to have your own mentor, and it's a really great program that we're excited to launch. In addition, when it comes to career services, we have our Krannert Professional Development Center that is open to all of our students. And Tavian, would you like to tell us a little bit about the KPDC?
So essentially, the KPDC is a Swiss Army knife when it comes to professional development for students here at Krannert. They do everything from resume reviews to mock interviews, and sometimes they'll even have actual interviews with recruiters inside the KPDC. So for example, early on in my freshman year, after I had the baby version of my resume, I was able to schedule an appointment with the KPDC where I had someone help review my resume and then really help outline what areas really stood out to them, what are some of the good parts of it, as well as making sure that I was able to refine it and make it look as good as possible so that way I'm making the strongest impression on these recruiters. In fact, later on that semester, I actually had an interview for a leadership program with Crow. Their Learn to Lead program is one of the most exclusive in the country. It involves a 3-day weekend up in Chicago. We get to meet a lot of the firm and kind of get introduced to their culture, and they had their interviews in the KPDC as well. So KPDC is one of the best parts about Krannert at the end of the day. When it comes to finding a job, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better resource, especially on campus.
So Tavian, did you get that Crow leadership program?
I did. So I was selected for the Learn to Lead program. Unfortunately, due to some complications with the pandemic, I wasn't able to go to Chicago, but we did have it virtually. And like most leadership programs do, I was offered an internship for the 2021 summer with Crow's Denver office. So thank you to KPDC and thank you to Crow so much for helping me get there.
Thank you, Tavian. That's awesome. We are very proud that 92% of our students have had at least one internship before they graduate from Krannert. And you can see a variety of our students here pictured at their internships. A lot of that is definitely a result of the work of the KPDC. I also have a brief video from one of our students when she was at her internship last summer to tell you a little bit more about what that internship experience is like.
Hi everyone, my name is Kalei Kelly and I just finished my first year at Purdue University where I'm studying accounting and data analytics. This summer I'm interning at PACCAR Parts. PACCAR is a truck manufacturing company responsible for the Kenworth, Peterbilt, and DAF brands. My day-to-day tasks involve doing journal entries, reconciliations, and working on other special projects in Tableau. Interns get some other cool perks though, like getting a lot of free food, getting to go to a Mariners game, and learning how to drive a truck. Overall, a pretty great summer.
On this slide, you can see many of the companies that come back year after year to recruit our Krannert students. We have 2 career fairs each year that bring in between 100 and 130 different companies. This, of course, is not a complete list, but some of the names that you might recognize. Our graduates have a 96% placement rate within 6 months of graduation. Very frequently, those internships will lead to full-time job offers. As you can see on the screen, our average starting salary and average hiring bonus is pretty impressive. I have a student who is currently in college and I would be very happy with those figures for him. But we also want you to think long-term. We want you to think about the value of a Krannert education. Poets and Quants is a well-known business publication, and they recently put out a survey about return on investment. So those tuition payments that you're making, that money that you're investing in your education, what kind of return are you going to get on that? Krannert undergraduate programs are ranked number 12 in the nation in return on investment. So you can be confident that you're not only going to start at a good salary, but you're going to continue to get a return on that investment in your education. And last but not least, I'd like to close our program with a brief video from the Dean of the Krannert School.
Thank you for taking the time to visit with us today. I talk to a lot of students about what they want from their college experience. They want a great education, to have fun, a job that pays well, but more than anything else, they want to do something meaningful and personally fulfilling, to have a career that makes a difference. And that's where Krannert really stands apart as a business school. Think about many of the key challenges facing our society: runaway healthcare costs, the need for clean energy, adapting agriculture and coastlines for a changing climate. All of those problems require scientific breakthroughs, but science that stays in the lab never fixes anything. Solutions to those problems require big leaps, and those exist at the intersection of business and technology. People like you, trained with the unique skill sets we teach at Krannert, are essential to bring those big ideas out of the lab and into the market where they can change the world. At Krannert, we have faculty who cross-train in both management and the sciences, students who collaborate across disciplines in courses, project teams, and case competitions, the best programs in the country for using data science to solve real business problems, and opportunities to be part of commercializing scientific innovations created right here at Purdue. When you take advantage of the experiences and opportunities we offer at Krannert, you are uniquely prepared for a career that is fun and lucrative, but maybe most importantly, is truly meaningful. I've been part of the Krannert School of Management for 20 years. It is my home. My passion in this job is doing everything I can to make the undergraduate experience something extraordinary. I encourage you to consider Purdue and to be part of an amazing and close-knit Krannert family, a family taking big leaps to change the world.
Thank you so much for joining us today in this presentation. If you would like additional information, we encourage you to contact the Undergraduate Recruitment Office. You will see our email and phone number on the screen. We also have a lot of wonderful information on our website, including a virtual visit website that we encourage you to look at until we are able to welcome you again to campus. Thanks again, and we hope to see you soon.